In this video, we are going to talk about 10 greatest sports careers ruined by injury. So before starting, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. Sport-related injuries are unavoidable, but some athletes are more fortunate than others when it comes to maintaining their health. There have been stories of great competitors who have had their careers cut short because of a severe bite or several bites from the injury bug. These stories have occurred across all sports. Here is a list of some of the most promising professional athletes who were forced to retire from the sport they loved far too soon as a result of devastating injuries. The following are two positions that will be mentioned more frequently than others: pitchers and running backs. It just goes to demonstrate how physically demanding these occupations are on even the most physically strong individuals. Many of these athletes were still able to make significant contributions on the field, but had they not been injured, they would have been able to accomplish even more. Here are the 10 greatest sports careers ruined by injury. So let's start. Number 10. Gale Sayers, NFL running back, 1965 to 1971. Gale Sayers, arguably the best football player on this list, was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame despite only appearing in 7 seasons for the New York Giants. Sayers was a colossal force for the Chicago Bears during the 1960s, earning first-team All-Pro honors in all 5 of his full seasons and twice leading the league in rushing yards. He played for the Bears from 1960 to 1964. In 1968, he had a terrible injury to his right knee, but he recovered and was dominating again in 1969, before suffering a catastrophic injury to his left knee in 1970, effectively terminating his illustrious career. If Sayers had been able to sustain a career that lasted 10 to 15 full seasons, he would very certainly have gone down in history as the greatest rusher in NFL history. Number 9. Bobby Orr, NHL defenseman, 1966 to 1978. Bobby Orr is yet another great legend who may lay the blame for his career's eventual demise on knee ailments that plagued him throughout his life. The Boston Bruins legend set numerous milestones while playing defense, including winning a league record 8 consecutive Norris trophies, which were awarded to the league's finest defenseman, and twice being named the league's leading scorer. However, he was unable to continue his rigorous career due to repeated knee injuries, and he was forced to retire at the age of 30 in 1978 due to the effects of the injuries. Despite the fact that he was easily inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame, and is widely regarded as one of the NHL's all-time greats, it's impossible to say how much more domination Orr may have had if his knee hadn't given out. Number 8. Bo Jackson, NFL running back, 1987 to 1990, /MLB outfielder, 1986 to 1994. Bo Jackson, arguably the greatest all-around athlete in the history of professional sports, became a legend by becoming an MLB All-Star and an NFL Pro Bowler in the same season in consecutive years. The two-sport hero appeared invincible to his admirers in the late 1980s, but his body would eventually give way under the strain of his year-round physical activities in the early 1990s. Despite having only 4 seasons as a running back in the NFL, Jackson sustained a hip injury that ended his professional football career. He continued to play baseball until 1994, when he was 32 years old and decided to call it a day. In 2017, Jackson told USA Today that he wished he had never played football and that he would not let his children to participate in the sport because it is so vicious, so rough. Number 7. Yao Ming, NBA center, 2002 to 2011. Yao Ming stood at 7 feet 6 inches tall, making him one of the tallest players in NBA history. However, due to nagging injuries, his career only lasted a little more than 7 seasons. While he appeared in at least 80 games in each of his first 3 seasons in the NBA, he only appeared in less than 60 games in 4 of his final 5 seasons, missing nearly 2 full seasons in the process. Ming hung up his sneakers for good in 2011, when he was just 30 years old, citing chronic problems to his feet and ankles as the reason for his sudden retirement. He was an all-star in each of his 8 seasons of professional basketball, and was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame despite the fact that injuries limited his playing time. Number 6. Earl Campbell, NFL running back, 1978 to 1985. Another player who landed in the Hall of Fame despite a career shortened by taking a beating was Earl Campbell. The legendary running back played just 8 seasons in the NFL before calling it quits, being sidelined for plenty of games during the second half of his career. Campbell rushed for at least 1,300 yards in 5 of his first 6 seasons, but barely topped 1,000 total yards in his final 3 seasons combined before retiring at the age of 31. These days, Campbell can hardly walk after having both knees replaced in 4 back surgeries, but he doesn't blame football for his condition. Instead, he insists it's genetic. Number 5. Daunte Culpepper, NFL quarterback, 1999 to 2009. Unlike running backs, NFL quarterbacks are often able to play for 15-plus seasons, provided they keep winning, but Daunte Culpepper wasn't so lucky. In his first 5 seasons as a full-time starter, Culpepper was pure magic, being named to 3 Pro Bowls and 2 All-Pro teams, and twice taking the Minnesota Vikings to the playoffs. But a severe knee injury in 2005 effectively ended his career as an NFL star, leading him to bounce around between several teams and never play in more than 8 games in a season for his final 5 seasons. He retired in 2008 at the age of 31. Number 4. Kerry, MLB pitcher, 1998 to 2012. At 13 seasons, the length of Kerry Wood's MLB career was longer than some on this list, but it included 14 stints on the disabled list and a ton of shackled potential. When he was healthy and at his best, Wood was nothing short of brilliant on the mound, racking up 1,000 career strikeouts in a shorter span than any pitcher in MLB history. However, that hard-throwing style also seemed to cost him, as Wood spent plenty of time battling injuries, including missing an entire season while recovering from Tommy John surgery. Number 3. Brandon Roy, NBA guard, 2006 to 2013. A 3-time NBA All-Star and former Rookie of the Year, Brandon Roy was forced to call it quits in his prime because of problems with his knees. He was a total workhorse during his short career, playing for at least 37 minutes per game in 3 of his 6 total seasons. In 2011, Roy announced his retirement at the tender age of 27, citing his problematic knees as the reason. He attempted a comeback in 2012, but it only lasted 5 games before he had to have knee surgery, ending his playing days for good. Number 2. Greg Oden, NBA center, 2008 to 2014. Greg Oden's NBA career spanned 8 years, but only included 105 games played in just 3 seasons on the court. Like several others on this list, Oden's problem came down to his knees, which severely limited his 7-foot frame in terms of mobility. After a fantastic college career, he was drafted first overall in the 2007 NBA draft, but missed his entire rookie season after having knee surgery before it started. He'd have 2 more knee surgeries before being cut by the Portland Trail Blazers in 2012, eventually landing with the Miami Heat, where he'd play 1 more season before his NBA career came to a sudden close. Number 1. Ralph Kiner, MLB outfielder, 1946 to 1955. Nagging back issues cut Ralph Kiner's MLB career down to just 10 seasons, but he did enough in that span to land in the Baseball Hall of Fame. A crushing hitter, he led the National League in home runs in each of his first 7 seasons before seeing his numbers steadily decline in his final 3 seasons. His record-pacing career was cut short at the age of 32 when he retired because of his back injuries. He ended up spending much of the rest of his life as a beloved broadcaster for the New York Mets until his death in 2014 at the age of 91. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.